And then sometimes it's the same with people send me, I've gotten like 12 messages while I'm sitting here, 13 messages while I'm up here. It's wonderful.
Also, a lot of stuff we talk about is valuable to other people who are using Druid. So when this goes out on YouTube,
right.
there are a lot of integrators and people who are using Druid are going to see this and say, oh wow, that's.
And I know a lot of you guys out there on YouTube hate GrandStream, but give it a chance. You can buy one phone for a couple $100, or you can buy 3 or 4 phones. And if you step on one like I did, you have another one. So it's oh well. My shirt, no, it says yeah, they should. You guys should give me a voice voucher. No, that is, it's a cheap phone. It really is a cheap phone, but it does function. It does what you need to do. I mean, it's a phone. What more can you say? The call pickup functions is something that a lot of clients want. They want to be able to have somebody's phone's ringing over there. They got it on hold and picking it up. I haven't got that really to work yet. Outside of Druid, I have with just a straight asterisk installation. I haven't quite got it to work yet inside of Druid.
Able to maybe do it through park calls? Is that an extension? What I would like to do is set up one of the parking lot extensions to do a blinking light when you park a call on it.
Mm-hmm.
So then someone else who sees that there's a call and they're picking up.
Problem with parking lots, and correct me if I'm wrong on here, because we've implemented it one time, and that was about 2 years ago, and it's not what people really want, not what our customers really want. When you park a call, it gives you an extension to dial back on. Exactly. Most people don't want to have to go and dial in an extension to get that. They just want to see that light and pick up that phone. How can I help you? And it's a pain. It's a real pain in the butt for people. The receptionist answers the phone. Can you hold on, please? I'll put you on hold. They put you on hold. What I haven't been able to get to work in Druid yet is for them, once it's on hold and the BLF light shows up, somebody in the office just pick up that line. I got to work on that. I'm sure it's probably easy, but...
I saw a demo on what Digium does themselves. What Digium does is that the operator will, when they get your call, they will just they'll park you. They'll say, okay, hold on, they'll park you. And then they will page the guy who is supposed to answer the call. So they'll be like, call for you on 701.
Right, and that's a park-to-call system.
If the person doesn't answer the call, he's not at the desk. After a few minutes, he'll bring the operator back to the parking.
Right.
So it should be, I guess it's not there.
And from a customer calling in or from the caller's side, that's fine. But from the callee side, when you're transferring, it's a pain in the butt for them to pick up the numbers.
Asterisk does support hints for parking. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to basically, one of the things is the automatic stuff that's created by features.com does it in 1.6, but doesn't do it in 4. So in 1.4, you just have to create all of them there. So what we do is in using the slide, we actually create all of them manually. What I'm going to do is that'll probably backward.
I think what would be useful is maybe like a menu which shows all the line keys on the Grand Street, and then there's a drop-down box selects you whether you want to put a DND there, or you want to put a parking lot, or you want to put a direct dial or whatever. So it's just like a selection, what kind of BLF you want in each one.
Right, and that would be good for setting up the phones, right. But it still doesn't address the functionality behind it. And I mean, setting up the phones really isn't that big of an ordeal. The functionality behind it that I'm speaking of is when somebody transfers that call, right. They now have the call, or they put the call on hold. Right. Using a parking lot system, they got to dial in that extension to get that call. Right. We want to avoid that. We just want to pick up the call and go with it.
I kind of done that actually.
But you still have to know. Yes, but you see, now you got 2 sets of BLFs. You got one for the actual extension and one for the actual parked calls. If you have, like, say, a GPX 2010 that has 18 key extensions and you have 15 people in the office, well, now you need a sidecar to be able to do that. Whereas if you're sharing the BLFs, if you just put the call on hold, everybody can see that that call's on hold. We need to be able to pick it up. Now, you can do it with the Druid not Druid, but the GrandStream send a ** command in order to pick that up. I've been able to get it to work outside of, oh, my battery just went dead on me.
Yeah, you have, let me grab your extension.
Yeah, apparently my battery just died. We'll do a little reboot here. The Grand Streams phones do support a star, but they I haven't been able to get it to work correctly inside. Thank you. Inside of Druid, for whatever reason. As you can see, I'm a full-fledged Linux guy, so. But that would be the key that we would want to see implemented, would be just somebody being able to have regular parked call or regular calls on hold being able to be picked up. I don't know how that works with some of the other phones. Yeah. Right. Yeah, and the same with the Grand Streams. They use a star code and the extension typically to send them. Maybe, and that might not be standard across all platforms either, which is.
I actually have one question for you about the messaging part. So you see that people starting to ask you for IM in the office, right?
Well, they're asking us for, not because of the phone systems though. What they're doing is they're asking us for a solution to do inter-office messaging. And, you know, they got 15 or 20 people in the office. They currently have been using like AIM, MSN, stuff like that to access. And they don't want to use that because it gives the end user the ability to run their own personal accounts. They don't want them to have their own personal accounts to be able to do things like that.
But
So,
is that lockdown really viable? People tend also want to be able to do both in the office as well as personal altogether, isn't it?
in some, excuse me, in a lot of installations, probably, but in several of the installations I have, they want just an in-house messaging solution. I imagine that most people would at some point or another want external messaging, but I think they want to restrict that to select individuals being able to do it, not just letting everybody talk to their girlfriends and, you know, all their other MySpace buddies and everything out there, which, by the way, I hate MySpace. Sorry, YouTube. Let's see. Call pickups, remote extensions. The other thing that I see a lot of people wanting is they're wanting remote extensions. They want their offices outside to be able to have an extension. With Asterisk, that has always been easy. You know, dial 9-105 to get this office or that branch or anything. What a lot of them are really wanting to see is not having to dial a special prefix extension, but just dial 105 and have 105 be outside of the office. I have 2 installations that have multiple Asterisk boxes, actually Druid boxes on both locations. And what we've basically done is they've just manually split the dial plans up and have made some customizations to allow those extensions to be isolated. What would be nice to see with the version 5 of the Druid software with the LDAP is being able to have those all centrally managed and pushed out to everybody to where everything's right there. And that's really what people are starting to see when they have that separate office. Virtual extensions, which is really a remote extension. What's really nice is people are really liking the idea that the money they just spent on their IP phone, they can go home and plug in the office or take to the hotel room and plug in with them and